Yeah, we're going to share about the salvation message right now. Let's pray. Let's open up with prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thy is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Now, I wanted to start out with sharing that when we were kids, we shared some things that I hope we can continue to share more. One, of course, is studying eschatology. As I told you, if you listen to my blog post at YouTube, it's called Off the Grid Girls. And what we're going to share with you guys is that when I went to the Army, I came home, I wasn't fully aware what was going on. I can say this for a fact. A lot of us have young children and family members that we are, for obvious reasons, have legit concerns because we do not have a conversation started. So warming up this conversation is like, it's kind of like right to the point. When we are trying to get in touch with a family member or something, or there's a family emergency, we need to know how to contact a family member or two. And there has to be an emergency contact. And up at Catholic Charities, before moving here to my apartment, I know that for a fact, if you can contact Catholic Charities and you have a concern, that message will get to me. Now, as far as what's going on with our family, one of the concerns was, of course, this topic that's gone on and people have heard about is a topic on Pizzagate in the Catholic Church. And there's been issues with sexual abuse in our region for over 40 years, so this is not a new topic. This is a topic that I think has affected and impacted our neighborhood and our region for a long time. Recently, we just did a post on our YouTube page about what happened at Super 8. So to us, this is an important conversation we need to have with our kids and our neighbors about what happened over at Super 8 and what is going on in our neighborhood. Now, here's the thing. A lot of us might not be aware of it. We need to have a conversation, sit down and have a legit conversation about child sexual abuse. And Glade Run is a great place to start. If you have sexual abuse issues or something going on, it's a good place to start, especially as I'm going to share with some of you. I met some people in our community, in our region, that are SRAs. They are satanic ritual abuse survivors. And there are girls and there are kids that have been through an ordeal and have been raped and molested at one point in their life. So what their story is important to me. It's important to those who know them and who've been friends with some of these girls. There are kids who have been impacted by years of sexual abuse and haven't even really dug into a topic like this. Now, I read a book that I was sharing with some of you here again, and I'm sharing it on YouTube. So if you didn't get this message, it's on my YouTube page. Most of us who have ever encountered any paranormal experience will be able to share it in the best way we can, with the best words, and then to describe the relationship that some of us may have had. It's hard to come out and just share it, but there was sexual abuse going on in my house, even as of today, where there was pushing and shoving. And I know, because when the kids are passing out and blacking out, I'm fully aware that there's something going on in my home or my building or in my neighborhood. And it's just that legitimate. So when we talk about sexual abuse, whether in a building, whether it be paranormal experience or not, it is sexual abuse. And we know for a fact that there are children and families who have had childhood issues, and even as of today, sexual abuse issues, and especially in our homes. Now, are we directly impacted? Are we indirectly impacted? That is to be described as yes. We are directly impacted by sexual abuse. And yes, we are directly impacted because these are members of my family as well. Now, there's been a lot of arguing on this topic. There's no argument. Age of accountability is when a child is under 16. And to me, we don't need to be having this discussion until they're at the age of accountability. And what you hear is a lot of kids are coming home with these stories. And what you're going to hear is that these kids have legitimate stories to tell. And why we're sharing this is because we need to get honest and talk to our kids and our family about some of the awareness projects that we're working on. And why it is because some of us have, in fact, and I would speak for myself, I walked in And I have heard of things that are going on, and I have directly been impacted by sexual abuse because I was a victim, and I was a secondary victim. And I know there's family and there's neighbors out here that have concerns and questions that need to be asked, and we need to start talking to our police departments, and we need to start talking, and the conversation needs to start somewhere. Now, I mean, on the lighter side of things, when I came home, I lived in Branson, Missouri for a short time. And when I came home, what we're trying to get to the bottom of is a lot of us who have been through abuse, who have been domestic violence victims, a lot of us need to get to the place where we can feel comfortable and safe again. And it starts with being safe. Now, I would recommend home-based therapy. I would recommend some of you to get into recovery or go to a meeting or try to get a sponsor first. So there are some concerns right there that need to be addressed, okay? Now, there's some people that had some issues with animals, and there's some people with issues that are not my issues to take on, and I'm not taking on other people's problems. So right off the bat, they have to own their behavior and have to own up to their concerns, and they have to go do something about whatever it is that they need to do, whatever they need to do. As for some of us, though, we're walking in and seeing somebody behave that way is a separate matter. And there are concerns that we're going to have to address about sexual abuse and people acting out on each other. Children typically act out, and that usually is an indication and warning sign of sexual abuse or child abuse and neglect. And one of the issues with food, one of the other issues is hiding the food and hiding things. And my ex-husband was sexually abused when he was a little boy. It was called Hide the Salami. And my ex-husband is from New York, and he's 6'4", and he has some things going on with him right now that I think maybe we should just be careful. Be careful what you say and who you say what to. Because there's my ex-husband is 6'4", and he's not exactly a nice guy. He would pound somebody in the face in a heartbeat. So some people need to be careful what they say to who they say what to.